Science has put rovers on Mars. It has mapped the human genome. It has explained black holes, dark matter, and the last moments of dying stars. But there are creatures living on this planet right now, and buried beneath it, that have left the smartest researchers in the world completely silent. Not almost figured out. Not close. Silent. These are the animals that broke the models, rewrote the textbooks, and still haven't given us a real answer. Here are 7 of them. Number 7. The Mantis Shrimp. It's about the size of a hot dog. It lives in shallow tropical water. It looks like something a child painted after raiding a craft supply store, and it has 16 types of color receptors in its eyes. Humans have 3. Most animals top out at 4. 16. So scientists did what scientists do. They assumed more receptors meant this thing could see colors we couldn't even imagine. They ran every test they had. Here's the crazy part. The mantis shrimp is actually worse at distinguishing between similar colors than we are. Worse. With 16 receptors. It sees the world in a way that has no comparison anywhere else in the animal kingdom. We built instruments specifically to measure its visual system, and the measurements made the mystery deeper, not smaller. We still don't know what it's seeing. We don't know why evolution built this. And the mantis shrimp is absolutely not telling us. Number 6. Tardigrades. You've probably seen one of these. Microscopic. 8 legs. Looks like a chubby little bear the size of a grain of sand. They've been shot into open space and survived. Dried out completely. Left for decades. Rehydrated and walked away like nothing happened. They can handle radiation levels that would wipe out every other living thing in the room. You already think that's wild. Wait. When researchers sequenced the tardigrade genome, they found that around 17% of its DNA came from completely foreign organisms. Bacteria, plants, fungi. Just sitting inside its genome, doing things. That's not supposed to happen. This process is called horizontal gene transfer. It's common in bacteria. But in a complex animal, at this scale, it should be flat out impossible. Nobody knows how it absorbed that much foreign DNA. Nobody knows how it got incorporated so cleanly. And nobody can figure out whether that alien genetic material is connected to its ability to survive literally anything. The answer is in there somewhere. Scientists just can't find it. Number 5. The Immortal Jellyfish. This one is the size of a fingernail. Transparent. You'd swim right past it and never know. And it does not die. When it gets old, injured, or stressed, it reverses its own aging process and goes back to being a juvenile. Then it grows up again, then it does it again. Over and over. Biologically, not a metaphor. This process is called transdifferentiation, where fully developed adult cells transform into completely different types of cells. Extraordinarily rare anywhere in nature. In this jellyfish, it appears to happen on demand. Here's what's keeping researchers up at night. We have identified the mechanism. We can see the cells changing. What we cannot explain is what triggers it, what internal signal flips the switch, and why this cannot be replicated in any other complex animal on Earth. Our best cancer researchers and geneticists have been circling this for years. The jellyfish is out there doing it right now, completely unbothered, and we still don't know how. Number 4. The Axolotl. Look at this thing. Pink. Feathery gills fanning out from its head like a party hat. Permanent smile. It genuinely looks like a cartoon. It can also regrow its own heart. Not just limbs, its heart, its spinal cord, parts of its own brain, with 0 scarring. Perfectly functional tissue, every single time. Scientists have been studying this for over 150 years and still don't have the full picture. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Humans share a massive portion of our genetic code with the axolotl. Many of the genes involved in its regeneration exist inside our bodies too. They just don't do anything. Or they do something, and we have no idea what's switching them off in us. The axolotl genome is 10 times larger than the human genome, the largest animal genome ever sequenced. Somewhere inside that stretch of genetic information is the answer to why it can rebuild its own heart, and we cannot. Scientists have been in there looking for a long time. The axolotl just keeps regenerating, completely unbothered. Number 3. The Greenland Shark. Not much to look at. Slow, gray, drifting through freezing black water in the North Atlantic, eating whatever it happens across. In 2016, scientists used radiocarbon analysis on the eye lens of one specimen, and the results stopped the entire lab cold. This shark was approximately 392 years old, born around 1627. It was alive during the 30 Years' War. Isaac Newton was a child when this animal was already fully grown, the oldest vertebrate ever recorded by science. Now here's the part nobody can explain. It reaches sexual maturity at around 150 years old. Its metabolism barely registers on instruments. And yet we have no model, none, that explains how any vertebrate immune system or nervous system survives 4 centuries of continuous operation. Every other long-lived animal we've studied handed us clues. Naked mole rats, bowhead whales, Greenland sharks handed us almost nothing. We don't know what's protecting its cells. We don't know how its DNA avoids the damage that eventually kills everything else. We just know one is out there right now, older than most countries, still moving through the dark water. Number 2. The Mimic Octopus. Only discovered in 1998 off the coast of Indonesia. In under a second, it can transform its entire body to look and behave exactly like a flatfish, a lionfish, or a banded sea snake. But here's what science cannot explain. It doesn't just pick randomly. It chooses which predator to mimic based on which specific threat is actually in front of it. That requires reading the situation, matching it to a memory, making a decision, and executing a full body performance, all in less time than it takes you to blink. Now here's the problem. The octopus has no centralized brain the way vertebrates do. 2/3 of its neurons live in its arms, not its head. There is no visual cortex scientists can point to as the seat of that decision. No clear command center. Nothing we'd recognize as a decision-making structure. And yet, it's making very complex decisions, very fast, very accurately, in a body that by every model we have should not be able to do that. Nobody knows where that decision is happening. Nobody knows how it stores the templates or retrieves the right one under pressure. It is doing something that looks exactly like thinking, in a body that should not be able to think the way it does. Number 1. Humpback whales. We end with the one that genuinely haunts researchers. Humpback whales sing. You know that. What you probably don't know is what those songs are actually doing. Across entire ocean basins, separated by thousands of miles of open water, male humpbacks change their songs together. One whale somewhere in the Pacific introduces a new phrase, a new sequence. Within months, whales across the entire basin are singing the same new version. The old song disappears almost completely. That is cultural transmission at a scale we observe in almost no other non-human species on Earth. But here's what nobody can answer. How? These whales are not in contact with each other, not within hearing range of each other for most of the year. The speed at which a new song spreads across an entire ocean cannot be explained by any acoustic or behavioral model currently in existence. It moves faster than it should. It travels farther than it should. It happens with a consistency that looks like coordination, without any coordination we can actually detect. Right now, somewhere in the Pacific, a humpback whale is singing a song it learned from no one science can identify. And researchers are still out there, listening. 7 creatures. 7 questions with no real answer. And the uncomfortable truth that the more precisely we study the natural world, the more clearly we can see exactly how much we still don't understand.